So what I'm saying is that there's no wind on the moon, so there's no reason why the flag would be waving. It was clearly done in a Hollywood studio. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh shit! Are we live? Oh wow!
Well,
Oh my
you
god!
just got canceled.
Oh my god! I didn't realize we were live. Sorry.
Look at the time. Gotta go.
Yeah. Anyway, excuse me. Ignore that. What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? We already have Nathan in the chat, and that really makes me happy. Judarad, Robo Strange, Respawn, Miracle Man, and then we have some very special guests today. Matt Sumo and Pete Collins. This is the creative team, or part of the creative team behind the Bardic Verses. Here we go. How is everyone doing today? Everybody.
Good enough. Good enough. Good enough.
No. That is a very comic creator type of answer. I'm doing good enough. All right.
Good enough.
Living the dream.
Good enough. Right.
Another day, another dollar.
I had a fucked up day.
Well, someone got $1. I wasn't me.
Yeah, sure shit, not us either. That's cool. Ainsley's in here a minute late. Wow, Ainsley. Wow.
Heartbreaker.
A minute late. Oh no. She said imagine being a minute late. She was on time.
Oh.
She was on time. Polly's here. Sweet. Cool. We got an awesome show planned. Oh, gee, what's up? We got an awesome show planned. We're going to talk to these guys about the Bardic Verses. Reading this comic, I've already listened to Toss a Coin to Your Witcher at least once today, and it was the heavy metal version. So
yeah, with the guy from Trivium.
Yes. Oh, no, is that the guy from Trivium? Dan Vask? That's the.
No,
wow, I didn't know he was from
Matt Heafy. I think his name is Heafy. He's a cover of it.
Okay. I searched metal covers of that song like right after I saw the episode, and there were like 5 of them, and I listened to all of them.
Judah, would you sing it to us? I don't remember how it goes. Would you sing
Robo's gonna kill you. Robo's gonna kill you.
I will mute his mic.
I'm not gonna sing it right now.
Oh, Easter
that's
egg.
Fair.
But
it's fair.
Easter egg.
That's fair.
That's a post-credit scene. So yeah, let's just kind of get right into it. And kind of jotted down some like very basic questions. Everyone on the panel, including Miracle Man, just feel free to kind of jump in and ask these guys some questions. But the first thing that I kind of wanted to know is, so definitely Witcher vibes is what jumped right out at me. Thor vibes. And then there's like one thing about this that also gave me some Sin City vibes. So I guess what I'd like to know is what were the inspirations for the Bardic Verses? And either of you can answer.
Good question. Also, I appreciate that you're picking up on the vibes that we're putting down. We have a couple of inspirations. So the framework of this story is this bard is performing in a tavern, and these stories are his set list, right? So he's singing songs and telling stories, and each of the stories that he tells are all done in a different art style. So in the preview that you probably saw, you saw the Kirby vibes that we did for like a flashback sequence. And then one of the first stories in it is the Sin City sort of noir inspiration with it's called A Maiden to Smite For.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's like it's clearly it's like a love letter to kind of like I saw the Kirby, but I also saw kind of like some old school Red Sonja, especially in that flashback that you mentioned, like the art style and everything. Okay, what are you like? So it's clearly inspired by those things, but it's also its own unique thing. What are you kind of trying to say about that? I guess. What is the genre? The like pulp sword person genre of comic books?
It's not really like we're kind of playing in all of the genres. I think like it's an anthology style story. So we kind of dabble in a little bit of everything. There, if you see there on it's like the middle panel on the right. There's a little Disney in there. We do a musical number. There's a little Ryan Otley or Otley, however you pronounce his last name. There's some Bill Watterson. Like, we wanted to really play around with, again, doing these stories in different art styles to sort of flex Pete's art chops a little bit and give him a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that was super dope.
I'm seeing this.
A little Frank Thorne.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
A little Frank Thorne.
Yeah.
Little Frank Thorne action. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it seems like you're
I like
doing
it.
this.
So what kind of?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure. I wasn't sure you couldn't hear me or you're being rude. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke, dude. A smile. When I'm reading this story and you're gonna have that kind of like subverting expectations sort of deal with the main character, who his dad is. The dad is spoiler alert, the one on the left, dope ass mustache, by the way. But without too much spoilers,
It was on his grave too.
It was good catch.
Without spoilers,
Awesome.
what kind of story can we expect for the main character? I mean, it's just this like just finding yourself sort of story, or can we imagine some Dungeons and Dragons level insanity gonna happen here soon?
So to answer your first question, it's sort of just about him dealing with the fact that he comes from this famous line of warriors, and he's not that. Like, he is just a guy. Like, he wants to play music, he wants to tell stories. He's not swinging swords, he's not beating up dragons and giants, and he's not going on adventures to do cool stuff. He's sort of the guy in the background, right? So he has to kind of deal with that throughout the whole story. He does come into his own a little bit towards the end, and then I think, we are kind of, spoiler, if this does well, if and when this funds, like, we are talking about a second volume, and then we're really gonna get into some weird Dungeons and Dragons type stuff.
That's dope.
So weird.
Yeah,
So weird.
real weird.
Could you give us a hint?
Real weird.
Like, when you say real weird, could you give us a hint?
Yeah, so I can actually, because this is something we've actively talked about. So how for this one, we're paying homage to great artists, Jack Kirby, to a lesser extent, Rob Liefeld, Disney, Bill Watterson, Frank Miller. In the next one, one of the things that we have talked about is doing a tribute to Jinji Ito. If anyone here is familiar with Jinji Ito, who's read Uzumaki, like, I love that book to death. It scares the living daylights out of me. I love Jinji. Yeah, I want to pay tribute to him. So we're definitely talking about doing some weird horror stuff.
Shiva. Yep. Really good. Yeah.
I'm already jetting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is.
How many tentacles are we talking?
I can't wait.
So we're talking just pages worth, pages and pages of tentacles.
Yeah, we're aiming for like an 80 to 90 page book. 10 tentacles a page. It's gonna be nuts.
Nice.
I hope you're charging a good rate for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Polly was gonna.
I'm already aroused
with the life mention.
You started the show that way, Judah.
That's true.
Sorry, Robo. I stepped right on you.
Coin to your Witcher. Sorry.
Hey, actually, I got a question for you, if I can, Matt.
Yep.
So I knew you had done some work. We had talked about it before the show with for FUBAR All Stars, with FUBAR All Stars.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, FUBAR is this righteous little indie book, and it's all just different stories about zombies throughout the ages.
What does FUBAR stand for again, Miracle Man?
Fucked up beyond all recognition.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Why didn't you ask? Never mind. Wait a minute. I get what you were doing. But I did notice there, and this is something I didn't know, that you had done some of the work with Double Take. Yeah. Dedication, was that the title?
Yes, that was the one.
Yep.
Yep.
Was that one of the ones tied into Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah, so they were all, they published 10 books at the time. All 10 books took place in Pennsylvania during the Night of the Living Dead at 10 different locations throughout the town. My book was about a bunch of kids working the overnight shift at a grocery store during the Night of the Living Dead. So it was like Dawn of the Dead, but in a grocery store instead of a mall.
That was yours. I read
Sounds
that
like
one.
the Clerks cartoon, kind of.
Yeah.
Not far off.
Hey, I got
Nice.
a question for Pete. Pete,
Yeah.
When I think of like artists, especially when we're doing comic books, there's like a certain style you can see, and it's like, oh, you look at something, you go, yep, that's so and so, right? And because there's a style, there's a way that you're comfortable in. In this particular deal, with the way that you guys are doing the flashbacks, and even like in this splash right here, how far out of your comfort zone is it to be like, okay, now this whole page is gonna be in this style. Now I gotta change my style again. Is that hard, or are you just like, no, that's easy? I do that shit every day.
You know what? At first, it was a lot harder, right? Because I, for whatever reason, decided I needed to do my work sequentially. Well, page 1, page 2, page 3, all the way through. And then at some point, I decided to switch gears, and I just saved my style, my stuff for the end because it was so hard to ping pong, you know.
Sure.
And what I realized in doing that was that, you know, we got about halfway through the book, and you know, the first 3 pages that I drew in, you know, in my own style didn't look like how I was continuing to draw my style. So I was, you know, that was kind of an eye opener for me. Like, I'm picking things up, trying to emulate these other artists. Some things good, some things very bad. And, you know, I had to, you know, kind of like take a step back, rehone myself. And we ended up ultimately redoing the first 3 pages over just to make sure that it was fluid.
Oh, wow.
You know? Yeah.
So your
not
process
easy.
now is to, and I apologize if you said it and I missed it. But your process now is to do your style first, get those pages out, and then you do the opposite.
No, I do mine last.
Got it.
At this point. So, and we've only got this book is almost complete. Like, we've got 8 pages left to draw. I've got 8 pages left to draw. And I'm kind of happy that I waited to the end for my stuff. Honestly, you know, just
kind of like a comforting cool down mode, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
What's up, Matt?
This is really cool. It's gorgeous. You had mentioned somebody had mentioned seeing some of that Frank Thorne style, which I don't know if you ever read any of those old Red Sonjas, but boy, it was gorgeous. What leading up to this project, what other stuff? You know, I was familiar with some of the stuff that Matt did. What have you done in the past, Pete?
Not really anything. So this is my first project. The only thing I've ever contributed that's made it to print is a single page pinup for Kayfabe Volume 3, which was a wrestling anthology. I highly recommend it if you like wrestling because it's hysterical and awesome. And that kind of got the got me super ready to go. And Matt and I just kind of came up with this, and so this is my first thing.
So do you guys want to talk to us real quick before we wrap up the interview part? I think there's a delay. Yeah,
there's definitely a delay.
Yeah. Do you want to talk through these tiers real quick?
Yeah, I guess I will be the one. I saw Pete did the pull away from the camera. That usually means with my cue. Yep. So we have the physical tier, which is obviously our most popular tier. It's a copy of the book, bookmark, 2 stickers, and a signed book plate by myself, Pete, and a letterer, Matt Krotzer. Nicely shrink wrapped when we're going to be shipping it with a cardboard backer, so everything will be safe and secure. We have our standard tip jar, toss a coin to your bard, where, obviously we got inspiration from toss a coin to your witcher, as we mentioned before. We have our digital tier, which is the book digitally. It comes with a digital copy of some of my previous work. I believe I will be throwing the entire trade for dedication in there, on top of some other stuff that I've done that I've published digitally, and then a playlist that kind of inspired the book. We have a retail tier, 5 copies of the book at cost for us, plus shipping. And then Pete, do you want to go over the last couple of tiers?
Yeah, totally. So we've got 3 different art tiers. The first one is a traditional art tier, which is capped at 10. And in that there will be a 5x7. 5x7? Yeah, I think it's 5x7. Inked original piece of art that'll either be the main character Martin or Gary, who is the yellow goblin that was in the previous image. The next one, the next
yellow bastard,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next tier is kind of geared toward tabletop playing audience, right? Like I played Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. Still kind of dabble with it a little bit when I can. And this tier is geared toward anybody that may want to have a digital rendering of their character. And
I'm
it
sorry. Did you just say that you're a fucking nerd?
Awesome.
Yeah, a little bit.
Man, we have a fucking nerd on the show.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, on this show.
Oh, geez.
So this
Not
is,
again.
So, and it doesn't have to be Dungeons and Dragons. It could be Shadowrun, Pathfinder, whatever.
I fucking love Shadowrun, man. Sorry.
It's been a while
my
since I played
interjection.
Shadowrun. And then the top of the art tiers is that same digital character commission, but we will have it printed in a high quality canvas and shipped to backers.
So sick.
Oh no.
Nice.
Are you saying oh no because you just
Cool.
ordered it?
When do you think fulfillment will happen?
That's super fresh.
All right.
To answer the fulfillment question, we're looking at like
Hey,
I would say by the end of the year.
Yep.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just in time for Hanukkah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you're in the chat right now, yeah, hopefully, if you're in the chat right now, definitely check out this this project and definitely back it because it's what we've seen so far is pretty rad, I would say, and I think I'm excited to back it. I think it's going to be something that all of us enjoy.
Awesome.
And thanks for sharing it with us, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, well, you're gonna stay, so we can save that. We'll do that later.
Never mind.
You sounded like
anywhere.
Yeah, you sound like Dennis in like Always Sunny. It's the implication. It's the implication.
Well,
heard me like, no, I didn't say that. I'm not gonna leave because of the implications.
Because of the implication. That's right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my shit that I just bought, and then everyone can talk about what they're reading and stuff. And yeah, I'll go ahead and go first because I'm excited about it. So, hello, I'm large. I am large. So,
not something you want to
Danny
say to the
from our
internet,
Discord. That's right. I don't want. Last time I said that, I got so many emails and phone calls. It was exhausting. So sorry.
Wiped you right out.
So I got this based on Danny's recommendation, and it's really good. And this is like the Batman tie-in, Batman 112. So I read both these, and this is pretty dope because it's like a Scarecrow
really
story. It's like Scarecrow's big. He's shooting his shot. I just heard myself. That's weird. But yeah, he's shooting his shot right now on Gotham. So it's pretty exciting. And then because I can't get enough Batman these days, I also got the second issue of this, which I'm enjoying. This is just legit. I highly recommend it. Defenders #2. This run is just going to be really good. And because every single thing that Kyle Higgins is doing right now is awesome, I picked this up and I haven't actually read it yet. This is issue #3. And I'm only caught up to issue #2, so no spoilers. And then Nice House on the Lake, James Tynion. It's amazing. I've been raving about it for a while, and it's still good. This is a Kickstarter. It's Time Before Time, Declan Shelby. And this is the Process Edition, which is actually super interesting because it's a whole book showing like how they made the comic. Like you read it, and it's like they'll show the panels, and then there's commentary from the entire creative team. It was edited by Heather, who's been on the show before, and it's super just like, if you're ever interested in making comics, I'd recommend this just as like kind of like the cheat notes on how to do it. It's super interesting. And then I got some old stuff too that I just had to own. I buy literally everything that has the Silver Surfer in it, so I had to get this. This is Guardian. This is like old school run Guardians.
Is that he who is above all?
Yes, it is actually. It is.
Right on.
So like in the future, the Silver Surfer still exists. So there he is. Yeah.
Nice.
And then
I love all these
and then
flexes, by the way. Oh, is that
yeah.
1978?
Is that ISBN code 59856? Yeah, sweet. I got this. This is I bought a different comic on eBay. I was the Silver Surfer Evolutionary War, and this was just part of the package, so I got it. And I'm really happy I did because it's actually pretty sweet. I actually read it, like an old comic that I actually read, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then this is like big time douche alert on me, but I just couldn't help myself. I had to get Cyberforce, Mark Silvestri, Cyberforce #1, and I read it. And normally I don't like that era of '90s Image comics, but I was expecting to kind of mock it, but it's actually good. So I don't know what's going on with me. But yeah, so. Oh, and then the last thing, I got this in the mail. Woo!
Nice.
New Judge Dredd Origins. So I've been trying to.
Dredd? Who is that?
Yeah, I don't know. He's like some guy. Yeah.
Oh,
looks interesting. Kind of like Judge Judy, kind
of like a cross between like a Joe Brown Judy cross kind of.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that Judge Judy does like a lot less killing, but she does some less killing.
Right.
Some less killing, yeah.
Some less.
This is a little bit more exaggerated, but you'll get it. You'll see it.
Right. I mean, you got to entertain people. You got to tell the truth while entertaining people.
That's
right. Right.
I started reading. So these essential Judge Dredd collections. This is the third one that's been released, and I've just been reading them as they come out because I never really read much Judge Dredd as a kid, but it's actually really good. And some of these stories they're called progs. An issue in Judge Dredd land is called a prog, which I didn't know that, but these progs. Some of them have Brian Boland as an artist, and like the only other Brian Boland I know is The Killing Joke. So kind of exciting to see more of his interior work because I think he's a damn good artist.
Did you just say the only other Brian Boland I know is The Killing Joke?
There we go.
Yeah. Okay,
you're not familiar with any of his other work? Just Killing Joke? That was that's where you were like, this is where I'm going. Killing Joke, and then we're done? I just want to check.
What other Brian Boland?
Holy fuck.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're going now. The only other notable Brian Boland. Just kidding. But, yeah.
This fucking screen here in a second.
Cool.
Anyway,
you want me to go next?
Yeah, I'm gonna enlarge you really quick. Hold on.
Yeah, do that. Also, check private chat.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, please.
It's so big.
No, you're good because you're delayed. Check private chat. So here's what I got, real quick. Superman, son of Kal-El, #1. I've been reading a lot of Injustice lately, and it's like the most DC I've ever read. So in my head, everything is Injustice. DC is Injustice in my brain, right? So I'm like, this is not fair, and like, let me fix myself a little bit. So I'm gonna start buying some more regular DC.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's where it starts, man.
In that, I did pick up Batman Reptilian #3.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Let's keep a theme here. Did I buy any more DC? Sure didn't. All right. Then I picked up Nice House on the Lake.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each printing, that cover gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Each printing, the cover looks Like it's not, but it's making it look rougher around the edges. The first one was almost pristine, or was pristine, and then each
No,
printing
the first-
after that,
Oh,
it gets where I have it here
Well-
somewhere, but
The first issue, Ice
Yeah.
House, almost like a like old
Yeah.
like movie, like an old B movie.
see, it
Yeah.
looks like it's burned around the edges
like
there.
your internet.
I'm gonna.
You remind
It-
me.
Mom, get off the phone,
Yeah.
Mom.
Oh, shit. I did also pick up the last book you'll ever read.
Oh, that was dope, man.
Yeah, so I picked up 1 and 2 of that. I also picked up Higgins' Ordinary Gods #3.
I like that one.
Yeah,
It's
really,
good.
the #1 was fun. I picked up 2 and 3, but I haven't read them, which is, if you know me, is not a surprise to anybody. Last Flight Out. Why? I don't know. I walked by and I said, "Oh, that's a cool ass cover," so I picked it up.
It's good. It's a good book.
Which I got to be careful about because I'm gonna pick up another one based off the title. I'm gonna show you guys another one based off the title and the cover. And one of these days, I'm gonna hold something up like, and this is a cool cover. And you're like, that dude's doing 22 years for stuff we can't say online. Like, what are you doing? I don't fucking know, man.
Hi, Mylene.
Mylene, the beautiful Mylene. So the nice house on the lake again.
Yeah, just read it.
So then I got more Department of Truth. Apparently, I picked up 2 issues of that back. So anybody want a Department of Truth #12?
Yep.
I thought
Hit
2.
me up.
The last book you'll ever read in 1 and 2, the naughty covers. And if you are in our Discord, I'll post what they are in our art channel because you can show
Not safe
titties
for
there.
work.
And then last 3 things, God of Tremors. Literally, so this is what a sucker I am, right? Why did you get God of Covers? It's a weird shaped book. It has hard paper, and it was a cool ass cover. So maybe next week, I'll say like, wow, that book. Remember the one, the cool shape? It was doo doo, or it was good. And volume 2 of Irredeemable.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm gonna keep showing these when they come in because they're so fucking hard to find. And
It's a gorgeous book too, man.
oh yeah, these are gonna look great. And that'll be one that I've read them all. I've already finished them all, and it'll be stuff on my shelf that I've read, so that's cool. Aggressive, the aggressive version. So I had the passive from Bad Idea, and my aggressive from Passive Aggressive just came in. So we'll read those together, and then I have to pick up Death
Nice.
Crystal Sword.
So cute.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, and that's it. That's it for me.
Polly says, nothing shiny. I'm disappointed for the second time today.
Right?
So
What was the
here's how
first?
bad. Here's Rob Liefeld being brought up at all.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Exiting the mouth, the vibrations entering.
Duh.
It's a running thing. She hates Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
I walked in. So here's my instructions to my LCS. I like going through. I don't have like real pulls because I don't like. Sometimes I'll fall off, and I'm like, I don't even like this book anymore. And then I forget to take it off my pull, and then I feel bad because I go in and I'm like, I didn't really want to buy this, and I tell the guy who has it in a bag for me, put it back on your shelf. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so what I do now is what I told him. I said, new hardcovers, new shinies, and anything kind of like weird, like, you know, I mean, pretend I'm a speculator. I'm not. I'm just stupid. But I'm like, anything cool, like put it on the thing. And he goes, cool. So I walk in today to get my books. He goes, really? Nothing cool? No cool covers came out. I'm like, oh. So then I did my little lap around the thing and picked up those books. Now here we are.
So what you're saying is there's a lack of shinies in the
This
market
week,
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. They lost out.
You know, there was a time in the comic world where you couldn't say there were no new shiny covers this week. I I believe we actually went through 33% of the global chromium from 1991 to 1995.
Yep.
I think that was the official estimate, 33%. So,
And what's funny is a lot of people talk about the pandemic and all like the harm it's doing to the world and how the world has changed around us. Really, the biggest impact it's made on my life is the chromium shortage that nobody's talking about, and
Nobody.
You know,
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's
Hey.
Hi, Judah. How long? I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to count how long it takes for you to respond. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, that was a bad
Awesome.
plan.
Bree, you ready?
Look, you can skip me. All I've really been doing this week is reading my Bible.
Dope.
Oh, nice.
They're the ones.
Cool.
They're the ones fighting for
Cool.
you in Texas, so that's good.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get an abortion, kids, just join there's two, that you can be a Satanist, or there's the Church of Satan.
Oh, that's the Satanist one. The one, I mean, the book you're doing, right? Which one is that?
Yeah, Anton LaVey is the Satanist one, yeah.
Do either
There's
one
a
of them like actually believe in the spirituality of it, or is it they're both?
I think Church of Satan might, but the Satanist one, he's like, this is all taking
It's
the
super
piss out of
atheist.
religion in
Yeah.
general. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Miracle Man.
Did you want to let Pete or Matt go?
Do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you'd like to show us today?
I brought some visuals.
Hell,
Ooh.
Ooh.
that's some large.
This could go
Show
bad
and
for us. But
tell.
let's see
Hi,
it.
everybody.
The Matsumoto.
I'm reading my Bible, which is Fist of the North
Wow.
Fucking
Whoa.
Star, starring my God
Gorgeous.
Ken, who likes to punch people and kill them in spectacular ways. And then on my
That looks badass.
to-read, yeah, I'm excited. I got to dip into it this weekend. Also on my to-read pile is the first trade for Radiant Black.
Yes. Yes. Fuck yes.
I'm
Dude,
excited to jump into this.
it's so good.
I
I
literally
read the
just got
first
it.
issue of
and-
that because Judah told me to, and it was so good. So good.
I'm pumped to read it. I've heard nothing but
Yeah.
good things about it.
Yeah,
I
it's
bought,
awesome.
I bought a shiny cover of that.
I think it's the best superhero thing that's going on right now.
It's pretty damn good.
Wow. It's bold.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard that from Judah multiple times.
Yep. I'm consistent on that one point.
Yes.
Did you
That
have
one
more?
point.
No, that's it for me. I have a bunch of other stuff,
Nice.
but they're all like in short boxes.
What
Sweet.
about you, Pete? You got anything for us, or you just spend all day drawing?
I don't. Well, yeah, pretty much. I don't have too much to show. So I've been reading Once in Future.
Oh,
That's a
nice.
good one.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I have been trying to keep up with some of like the Hickman X stuff.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I think Hellions is fantastic. I'm enjoying Excalibur enough, but some of the other ones just. But I'm chugging along, man. I'm chugging along. I'm a completionist.
Nice.
Honestly,
Radiant Black is more hentai than superhero to me, so I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't masturbate once when I was reading it, so that can't be.
I don't know what to tell you, Dan.
I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Pete. I interrupted you for a really bad joke. Sorry, go.
but honestly, I think most I've been picking up more books honestly at like flea markets and whatnot than going to my local comic shop, which has been kind of open and closed over the last couple of months for reasons I'm not aware of. So, but I've been picking up some good scores.
Thanks for setting the record straight.
X-Men 141 the other day for like $3, which is
Nice.
fantastic. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I scored like 5 Kirby books the other day. Like, just old Fantastic Four. Actually got a couple too. Like this beautiful bastard right here. I paid $4 for this. I got
gorgeous.
Wow. Flea markets are where it's at.
Yep.
Yeah, they can be.
A few weeks back,
Oh,
I grabbed this guy for $5.
Oh,
You know,
$5 for that?
$5 for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Paid
Wow.
$10 for this guy.
That's a nice
Oh,
pickup.
man.
Nice.
That is nice.
I mean,
What is that like in the late 200s, early 300s?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
350. So it's like, or but yeah. Anyway, so it's that's been my thing, man. I go to the flea markets with the kids, and it's like we try to avoid the guys that have everything individually marked and bagged because they know what they have, and
Right.
you look for the guy who
Avoid
just
those
like
guys.
poured a pile on a tarp and hope to God they're good.
We're gonna be talking about that here in a little bit, Danny. $5.
Yeah, hold your horses.
Hey.
$5.
Wow.
$5 per long. And then Miracle Man. Well, hold on. Everybody, if you guys need to stretch or hydrate,
This motherfucker.
we're gonna check it out. We're gonna be here. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go.
I'm gonna be very limited. Particularly after you were just teasing me.
No.
So everybody knows we've got. I don't have all of them out, but if everybody maybe doesn't know this, a couple years back, Archie had the best horror comics on the stands. They were doing Afterlife with Archie and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Right.
Mhm.
Afterlife with Archie, unfortunately, is not coming back, but Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is coming back with issue 9 after like a 7-year hiatus.
Sabrina? What's that about?
She's a teenage witch, right?
Chilling Adventure. But here we have the last issue for Afterlife with Archie, and this was a vampiric Josie and the Pussycat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's dope.
That's a good cover.
This one here is actually a gift for somebody very near and dear to my heart, who's really pretty and nice and stuff. So I have that.
Sounds fucking dope.
She's pretty dope. So it's definitely Judah. So I this is actually an extra I had, but I read the whole series, reread the whole series, and oh god, it's so good. I wanted to come back, but today I was at this shop that, well, let's just say it's a peculiar shop. But it had some stuff that I was picking up. And tell me if you can pick up on my theme. This is Nancy in Hell from Amigo Comics.
Okay.
If you never read Nancy in Hell, it is, as it looks, chick with a chainsaw.
What more can you ask for?
And she's literally in hell.
Yeah. And she's ripped. I love a jacked chick.
The first one, she escapes hell. The second one, hell comes to Earth and she has to send it back. And then they kind of reboot the story, and there's a Savage Dragon one shot. There's a she teams up with some crazy nun from another IP. It's a crazy story. If you like stuff like Bomb Queen, but don't necessarily need to see the thong pants, this is a good choice.
The best part about the comics industry as a whole is you say a crazy nun from some IP, and that does not at all narrow it down.
Right. Nobody blinks. They're like,
or you can be surprised. Like, yeah, that's
right.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Here we have some of the Image run, a hack slash. I picked up a couple issues. Number 11. Like, damn, Tim.
I'm backing those omnibuses.
Really good reasons why you should buy that cover.
Right, and now here's another one. Here's number 9. Tell me if you can guess why I bought that cover.
The dude.
You're a baseball fan.
Have you picked up on the theme yet? Yes, absolutely. This is, by the way, Jimmy Robinson's Bomb Queen there. And when I said thong pants, literally they designed thong pants for her. Yeah,
that seems.
I loved Bomb Queen.
Oh, so much fun.
It's so stupid and great.
It was. If you notice, it got a little less horny as it went on, but when it started off, it was super horny.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the Jimmy Robinson that wrote an Invaders run for Marvel?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's James Robinson. Okay.
Nathan, Afterlife with Archie was fucking righteous. Here we have. It's so good. I can't wait for you to read it.
Okay, I caught the theme.
Okay, so here's another.
Baseball, right?
Yes.
Baseball. Yeah.
This is Critter number 2 from Big Dog Inc. is the publisher. They actually recently had a Kickstarter where they did an omnibus collection of this. And yes, I know it looks a little horny because here's the Origins issue as well.
Are you wearing cat ears right now, Miracle Man?
I am literally always wearing cat ears. I don't. You've never spoken to me when I haven't been wearing them. And here's a Vampirella. This is a Connor and Palmiotti cover from the Harris run.
Ah,
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, this is the one that kind of breaks the mold a little bit, only kind of because it's old lady Harley.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
What are you saying? Old ladies can't be attractive? Is that
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying?
no, no, no. I'm saying she's not as scantily clad. I guess she's still in the booty shorts, and you see a little leg.
I wish there were. I wish we could see more old ladies in booty shorts.
Right, you and me both.
Yeah.
Now here, so I didn't get one of the covers. One of the you showed last book you'll ever read. I got one of the covers. I don't know if I can show it. I got to post it over the bad parts, not the bad parts.
Oh,
Get in trouble
what
for
number
it.
is it? I have the censored 1 and 2. Do not show it.
Look, I'll just show you this part.
There you go.
Oh,
There you
nice.
are.
If you want to see the rest, what number is that? 1 or 2?
1.
Okay, yeah, I have that one here. Come to
We can
our
sh-
Discord.
We can show it on our OnlyFans. I think.
It's a good one. Yes, you can.
Definitely on OnlyFans. Yeah.
We
And
do-
then-
which
Last things. This is what I've been reading this week, actually, and it's funny that you showed Judge Dredd earlier. Just so you know, Judah, literally, if you were a British creator of any note today in the comic industry, you
don't know
worked
not.
on Judge Dredd in 2000 AD. Alan Moore had stories. Garth Ennis, Brian Boland, he did a ton of work. When I am going to hand you some Brian Boland comics when I see you, because Jesus Christ, you're like Killing Joke. That was it. Judge. So here's Judge Dredd in Oz. Actually, 2 interests: Judge Dredd in Oz, and not the one with the wizard, the one with kangaroos.
oh fuck yeah!
This is a 3-issue series of books from Titan. So it is some great black and white comics from right out of 2000 AD. There were 3 of them. These are all some crazy ass covers on them, but the interiors I quite enjoyed them.
Can I just say Judge Dredd's good? Like I did not
Yes.
expect it to be good because
Right.
pretty much my only experience was the Stallone take on the character. But
You got to watch the Carl Urban one because that's infinitely better and is really like the comic.
doesn't it have Cersei? Isn't Cersei in that?
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
so.
she
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna watch
Yeah. She's the villain. She's the
Oh,
villain.
okay.
And-
Surprise!
Surprise.
It's
Last
good.
but not least, this is what I've been reading today. I've been trying to finish it. It's a big book. John Amon, Amazing Man. This is I got this. I think it was probably a Kickstarter or an IGG or something, but it's Stephen Butler is the artist. And it's all public domain superheroes. There's Blue Beetle, right there.
Blue Beetle's public domain.
The original Dan Garrett with 1 T.
The
And
Charlton.
carrying pistols. He actually pre-Charlton, believe it or not.
So Blue Beetle predates Charlton.
Oh yeah, he was at
Wow.
Fox first, and Fox is the one where they got it from. Fox sold it out to Holyoke. Holyoke went under. Standard Nedor merged. Nedor went under. So you'll find a lot of characters from those 2 that are public domain. But because Dan Garrett was brought over to Charlton, they changed the spelling and added a T at the end. That's the Dan Garrett that got sold to DC.
Ah.
Hey,
Hey,
before you keep going, just a quick hi to Mugsies on Twitch. How you doing?
What's up,
What's
Hi,
up?
Muggsy?
Mugsies.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question. So with public domain characters,
Mhm.
what? So I'll use Thor as an example. Thor is a public domain character because he's like an ancient mythological character. So
Right.
what does someone have to do if they want to make a Thor comic and not get sued by Marvel Comics?
Oh, it's actually incredibly easy. So your use of a public domain character has to go off of only the public domain stories. So what you couldn't do is give him a love interest named Jane Foster, but he can be a lightning controlling Thunder Christ, if you will.
He can wield Mjolnir.
Right. All that stuff that came out of Norse mythology, the original Norse mythology, you can build any stories you want off of that. Same thing goes with Hrothgar and what's the golem's name? The big goblin in that.
I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Beowulf.
The Grendel.
Grendel, yes, thank you. So you can do any stories because all that's also public domain, and essentially anything before Mickey Mouse became a character is public domain because the mouse
I
has
got
spent a lot of money to keep the mouse from going public domain.
I see.
Um,
So Walter, I know Walter Simonson made his Thor run. He actually continued his Thor run on a creator-owned title.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was kind of
Ragnarok.
weird how he got away with that, but it actually
I think-
continues.
Yeah.
From memory, Marvel trademarked the Mighty Thor, I think is how they
Yes.
got around it. So like that's their version of
Right.
Marvel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
There's also visual cues too, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't physically look identical. Like even this character right here, this is John Amen, the Amazing Man. You know this character. It's a very old and popular Golden Age comic. I'm going to see if I can pull a link up for here real quick. Yep, here we go. I'm going to fire. Oh, come on now. Just so you know, I am like the closest to being a true Luddite that you'll ever see.
Your kids aren't there to help you with the input?
No, they're not. Here we go. I'm going to give you this link. I don't know if you'll be able to blow it up big enough for people to see it, but I'm going to put it in the chat here real quick. But it's a very famous cover. It's a yellow cover, and it's got a character on it who is essentially naked, but in like these little red trunks, and he's chained up, and he's biting the head off of a snake.
hot.
Did you get that? Did you get that link there, show controller folks? Hi, Eva.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
All right, and so that's who this character is. You'll see there's a bunch of others in here too. Like that's Miss, I think the lady in red, Miss Mask, I think her name was. She's a public domain character. There you go. So that is this character
Whoa.
right here.
Wow, that's a thing.
It's Centaur Publications was the publisher of that book. I want to say it was like 1941. We're talking real early in comics. And this publisher went out of business by, I want to say, the early 50s. They didn't make it to the Silver Age. They were gone. And everything they had fell in the public domain because back then you had to do your renewals a very specific way. You had to put all of your indicia in the trademark portion at the bottom in a very specific way. And if you didn't, you were SOL.
That's really hot.
Yeah.
I have questions
It is.
for the artist. I'm like, I'm this guy. I'm like, okay, the feet I get, but what's the hands and around the biceps? What's going on there? I don't understand.
Why do you have so many questions?
So
Why
the
can't you just do it?
penciler was Bill Everett.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
So I mean, we're talking. There's a pedigree behind the character. I'm not even sure who the writer was. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, who
Bill Everett's
cares?
Golden Age. His Golden Age shit looks so ahead of its time.
Wow.
his
Yeah,
Namor.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Matt, did you as a writer, is there any? And I'm sorry not to go back into the interview portion here or anything, but as a writer, are there any of those Golden Age writers or creators that speak to you?
The new God of War Thor.
Man, I mean, I gotta say, like, obviously, of course, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, I really was into. I was a big Spider-Man head growing up.
Right on.
So I read I eventually for an anthology piece I homage that one issue. I can't think of the number of it. I think it's 33 of Amazing Spider-Man. The one where he's like crushed underneath all that stuff.
Yeah.
I homage that in a thing I wrote. I was big into Spider-Man. I mean, later on in life when I got to Ultimate Spider-Man, which kind of really opened the door for me to be a writer. Bendis, that run of Ultimate Spider-Man was huge. I wanted to write characters that sounded like the way Bendis wrote characters.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just to let everybody know real quick before we move on to this, I just want to let everyone know you can get this book if you are at all interested. You can also get it in single issues. It's available on indieplanet.com. They do a print on demand and ship you the books. I did a big order from them the other week. I got like $200 worth of freaking books. I might have gone a little crazy. But they had a whole bunch of stuff like that you just are not going to be able to find. The original Russian underground hero, Octobriana, They had a collected edition of all the Russian work that she was in. They had all kinds of superhero stuff, all kinds of horror stuff. Basically, if somebody does a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, it looks like the files get put up on this site, and you can just go and print them off later, and they'll ship them to you. So, highly recommend checking it out.
If a publisher ever took the Mary Kay or Cutco route of like pyramid scheme comic selling, I think you'd be really good at that. We're gonna move on to the news portion, but first,
Danny,
what's up?
To answer your question, people are hating on that Thor from the new God of War, which, by the way, super fucking hyped for,
Right?
Because he's fat. That's legit the only reason why. It's because he's built like a normal fucking dude. That is
Isn't he like
strong?
A handsome
supposed
dude.
to be like that in Norse
Yeah.
mythology? Like that's what it looks like.
That's accurate.
What are we talking about here?
They eat. They're giant people. They eat and drink all fucking day. They stay wasted all the time. But they also war all the time. So it's not like standard American.
Look at the guy. What's the dude's name?
This
The mountain
is-
from the mountain, right? That
The Mountain,
actually
yeah.
actually competes in deadlifting. He's deadlift over like 600 pounds or whatever the fuck it is, something crazy shit. And he looks like this because that is strength and hot daddy Thor. Give me.
Hot Daddy Thor.
People like attribute strength with like muscles, right? But it's not always that. Like these guys, these real like true lifters are all big. They're just big dudes. They're built like houses. Like they're not necessarily like jacked and have like tons of muscle. They're not toned.
Lean muscle and definition is not like a sign of being super strong.
Right. It's all. It's just visual. Like these guys that really lift. Like they're just big dudes. They look like that. So I don't understand the issue.
for a guy who spends their time smashing, drinking, and then boning shit.
Rousing.
That looks like that kind of dude. Like,
That's right.
I think he looks great. I think it's a great character design. I love it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Ryan Hurst doing the voice of that is awesome too.
Yeah.
He's great in Sons of Anarchy. He was pretty good in Walking Dead. So
yeah.
This whole cast. Oh man.
Hey, before we
I'm
move
gonna
real quick,
stream this as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, 100%. Real quick before we move on, and we'll do, and there might be two more real quick before we move on. But you saw the bottom half of the last book of you ever read from Miracle Man, but I felt like I was curious. I'm like, oh yeah. Let's add some more context here. That would be the half.
Yeah. It's a hell of a cover.
So I know I'm famous for my read pile, like just sitting here for years, but I have a feeling I'll probably read this one. So
that's awesome.
It's actually a really great story, just so you know.
Cool.
Like, it's a titillating cover, but the story was pretty good too.
I mean, I bought the normal covers too.
Right, so did I. They're just not as fun.
Right. All right.
So nobody here, or not everybody here, watched The Last What If, and not everybody here watched Shang-Chi. And we were gonna talk about it a little bit, but I don't know if we want to spoil it for people. I don't know. Are we still within the spoiler zone for those things, you think?
It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all.
Are we even a week out from Shang-Chi? Isn't it
we'll talk about it.
a week ago?
We'll hit it up next week. We'll do is on Fridays. We're not talking about last Wednesday's What If. We'll talk about the previous week's What If, and that'll keep us out of the spoiler zones for most people. So I think that's what we'll do going forward. But in some sad news, Mirage Studios, they're gone. It's over. They said goodbye and cowabunga. So I guess it was like 10 years ago, Nickelodeon purchased the rights to the Turtles. This is back in 2009, but for like the last 12 years, Mirage Studios has been kind of wrapping up its affairs. And then this year is the year that the company was officially dissolved. As of September 19th, they will cease conducting any merchandise sales. They'll be closing up shop and leaving behind a website as a purely archival resource for the comics published by Mirage in the past. So, and maybe Miracle Man can like illuminate on this a little bit, but I know that for like the last 10 years or so, Peter Laird and Mirage have been able to publish like one Turtles book a year or something. on top of whatever IDW and Nickelodeon are doing.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, I'm just wondering what their actual deal was, because it's not always the case that like when something gets bought out, they still have 12 years to conduct business.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I think there's some various levels of merchandising deals that were out there that Mirage as an entity still had some investment in, or was still owed something through. Additionally, I think they handled a lot of like the back stock. So I mean, the Turtles are the characters we all know the most out of Mirage, but they had other characters. Now a lot of them were rolled into or folded into the Turtles mythology because they fit. But they did have other properties that they were dealing with. None of them to this level of success. Nothing merchandise.
Not even close.
Like that. Nothing. Yeah, nothing even close.
Yeah.
Peter Laird, from what I understand, though, is allowed to publish a comic any time. From what I understood, like he always has the right to do Turtles comics if he feels like it. And because I think that was his part of the deal when he sold. Because Kevin sold to Peter first, then Peter sold to Nickelodeon. But Peter, that was his part of his deal, was part of the contract for the sale, was that if he wanted to make Turtles comics, which I get it, right? Like if you created a character and you could make that deal, why wouldn't you?
That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
And that plus, however, tens of millions of dollars he got for that IP.
Hopefully tens of millions. I don't know how much he got for it, but he created it. So
Right.
It's kind of the end of an era. The story of Mirage is really like a great story because it's just a couple dudes in like an apartment. Like the reason they called it Mirage Studios is because there was no actual studio. It was just these dudes in like an apartment that put together this wild, weird thing that ended up becoming like one of the most recognizable pieces of IP in the history of IP. So it's pretty crazy. It's the end of an era. I don't really know what it's going to do for as far as the Ninja Turtles are concerned. I don't think it's going to be a big dramatic change for us, the consumers, but it's pretty, it's kind of a little sad.
That is so often the case. Now you mention it, like I'm trying to think of like cult classics that weren't created in that way, like by just geniuses in this. Like I'm thinking, I was having this conversation with Miracle Man yesterday about like Always Sunny and Evil Dead, how it's just like these dudes that took their cameras and their minuscule budget and created these like things that shaped the entire industry and genres that they were in.
It's amazing. There's something to be said for that. Like that's organic art,
They say Eastman was a big fan of Kirby's Commandy.
Ooh.
Right.
And if you think about the series as his Commandy, there he is, by the way, on the screen with the first page. I don't think it's issue 1 of Commandy, but Peter on the left, page from the Demon, a title page from the Demon. Kevin on the right with a title page from Commandy. Both of which I want to say, listen, I admire and respect you both, Kevin and Peter. If you ever watch this show, I am enraged that you two have those pages. I hope you got to keep them and you never fell on hard times. But the fact that I can never own those, I hate you both so very, very much.
Love you.
But yes, love you, actually. But not only that, but I mean, look at that. A picture with the king. How many of us get to say something like that?
That'd be so dope.
But if you look at Turtles through the lens of he kind of did his own Commandy, it kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? All the mutagenic animals, all the mutant animals, all that, So it's just kind of cool. A little bit of worthless information.
Cool. So
That's awesome.
So we have kind of a common thread going through, like we're kind of following this Substack story because I don't know, I think it's an important story. But so I just commentary really, not a whole lot of new news, but I was reading this editorial recently about how Substack, a lot of companies have tried to do what Substack is currently trying to do by like bringing all the top talent and trying to pay them, give them creative control, give them the profits and allow them to kind of create in a free environment. But a lot of the companies that have tried to do it have failed. So there's some speculation. Substack, in order to succeed, is going to have to not only acquire the talent, publish the work, and pay the talent, but they're also going to have to start setting their sights on Hollywood and getting their IP on.
Pay the talent?
Pay the talent. Yeah, I know.
What?
It's crazy, right?
I don't think that's a step in the comics industry.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily care if Substack succeeds or not, especially because of the really bad shit that they have on their platform. But I do want the movement to succeed, if that makes any sense. Like, I would like the creators to kind of have a landscape where they can people can actually profit off their work and not get robbed by a big publisher that only pays them pennies on the dollar and dips into their the royalty fund, and just completely everybody makes billions except the people who actually created it. So it's still nice to see. I don't know. What do you just question for the Brain Trust? What do you think are the next steps for Substack or for Substack-like companies?
Well, the next step for Substack should be to denounce all their transphobes and pieces of shit that use theirs.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Sounds hard.
Yeah, but they need monies.
Have you considered that they pay them? Have you considered that? Money,
but like,
money.
but like, not necessarily Substack, but like those types of companies. How are they going to be successful in the current system? How are they going to actually create a lasting change in the way comic books are printed, distributed, etc.?
That's a good question for Matt and here. Let's
I have some thoughts about that. Like, I feel like they need to get into publishing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, like, I'm under the impression that their model is that, like, right, it's all digital, but then like the creators own all that stuff, and they're free to take it elsewhere, right? Likely all these people that are going to be publishing pages through Substack are later going to collect all that stuff and then publish it via like Image or some other publishing arm. Like, I feel like maybe they need to start getting into publishing and publishing those books that the people are putting out via their newsletters. Like, I don't understand. Like, to me, the math doesn't make sense for them to like how are they going to make money? Like, they're paying these people. I mean, sure, they have like Substacks that
ad revenue
for ad revenue, but then like the some Substacks, like the people, like, they're charging monthly, right? Like Scott Snyder, like he's doing it the best, I think. Like, he's offering a service, he's offering like a writing class. Great, I'll pay $7 a month for that. But like for the people that are putting out pages and putting out books via Substack, like why would I pay for that if I could just, and this is going to sound terrible coming from me, if I could just wait and get the trade when it comes out? You know what I mean? Like, it's not beneficial to shops, really. That's another thing that I don't really like. But I'm not like ad revenue is not going to make them whatever. Like, I've heard crazy numbers that they're offering these creators. It's not going to make them that money back for sure. So I don't know.
It sounds to me like that first year they're offering them a big payout, but after that it switches to a profit sharing model.
Mm-hmm.
But then don't you think that most creators are going to be like, I'm out of here? Like, that's it. Like,
probably
there's something in their contract that says they have to be on for X amount of years, but I don't think so. The way they make it
probably
sound,
not.
Like, the way they make it sound, they're just like, this money is theirs, like, up front, and then they have to meet like a minimum message, like a minimum newsletter count or something like that. I think it's like 100 messages, and then they're like free and clear to go. So if I was a creator, I'd be like, cool, I'll take that money up front, I'll send out 100 emails, and then I'll peace out. Like, that's it.
It doesn't sound sustainable.
No,
it just doesn't sound like a long-term
Well, here's
model.
the deal. In all valid points, but here's the fact of 2021 and where we're at in technology. There are straight up millionaires, people you've never heard of on Twitch that are millionaires.
Yeah.
OnlyFans, and by the way, not just the sex workers. 10-second story. We had a show we wanted to do that had nudity in all the comics, so we made an OnlyFans account to see if we could put the video on there, so we could put that link in the Patreon. Anyways, so I went through to and it had, like, because we had an account, we had a bunch of people you may know, and I was expecting to see, like, a bunch of ladies and men, right, selling like, hey, do you want to see my pee-pee, right? But it wasn't just that. there are people who were like cooking shows, like 10,000 subscribers. Like it wasn't just sex work, right? There's a lot of other stuff going on. And the reason why I say all that is we are entering an age where everybody on this panel might go, why would you pay anybody to watch them play video games? I said that 5, 6, 7 years ago. Why would you? But it is a paycheck. Now we're talking about people who you've never heard of paying mortgages with this.
Yeah.
Do this with
By
Tynan?
the way, if you want to
but-
see Robo's pee-pee, it's IFLC on OnlyFans. $15 a month.
Yeah.
So Robo, it's not really a matter of the shortage of demand or a shortage of consumers, though. It's it's really the creators. Why would they stay on that platform if once they get started on that platform, they can then move off the platform and keep all the money? Do you know what I mean? Like the actual model isn't viable, even with people who are willing to pay for the service or subscribe to Substack comic. Why would the creators stick with Substack once they've gotten their comic out there and now they have an audience? So that's like where the model is still not super viable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying I don't agree. That is everything you just said is like super logical. Like it's like, yep, that is a valid statement. What I'm saying is that we could say that about any of the other people. What stops Hassan Piker from saying, you know what? I'm gonna start like doing an Alex Jones and saying, fuck Twitch. I don't want to pay them any money. I'm gonna go start my own website and I'm gonna take my 40,000 viewers a night with me. Why doesn't he do that? Why? Because there is a contract, and I'm not saying he stays because of the contract, but there is a lucrative contract involved with the Hassan Pikers of Twitches. Go ahead, Matt.
So that's it right there. You hit the nail on the head. Like there's no, I think again, the argument for this is there's no exclusivity really for these creators, right? Like I said before, like they're publishing these pages through Substack, like through their newsletter. But then after that, once they're done, like Substack doesn't own that. Like they can take it and go where they're going to go and get it published, and it's going to go on Comixology. Like they don't own that. I think they need an exclusivity in their contract, but they're never going to get that. No creator would sign up for that.
Right.
Unless they're getting fat money.
Ultimately, in my mind, I don't think this changes a whole lot of anything. And I'll tell you why. There's multiple reasons, but a couple of the big ones are, first of all, comic writers leave all the time. And it's been a trend that's been going on for a good 30 years at least, where they write comics because they want to make shows or they want to make movies or they want to do, they want to write something else. They want to write novels. So now what they're doing is they're leaving. They're cutting their teeth. On the indie comics. They're moving up to the big two. That's your major league. That's your NFL. That's the foosball, right? So they move up to the NFL, right? They get out of Arena League, and then now they're there. Now where are they going to go? Now you're done in the sports world. You become an announcer. You can sit around and talk about sports instead of playing them. But they don't really have that in the comic world, right? So what are they going to do next? They're going to go to do the Substack because now they can sell their stuff direct because they cut their teeth in the indies. They moved up to the big two, yada yada. What has the industry always done when talented writers leave? Do they try to entice them back with money?
Not typically, really.
Not typically. They just bring up the minor leagues, man.
Yeah.
And I hate to refer to people in that way because there's some phenomenal writers writing for small press books, and I'm not trying to be derogatory in any way, but I mean, that's just what they do. The same thing for the artists. They get an artist who leaves for one reason or another. They just bring somebody up who's, hungry to do it. And nobody makes comics. Pete and Matt, are you making comics because you're like, someday I'm going to own my own island and yacht and jet and like. That's
why Todd McFarlane makes comics.
But that's fair.
I already do. So.
I'm currently speaking to you from my yacht.
Wait, you guys don't have yachts?
Right.
I was really hoping we'd get like different reactions. Like Matt laughs like, yeah, right. And Pete's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you talking about the yacht?
Yeah.
But that's just nobody's making comics because they expect to retire on that money. They're making comics because they love to do it. We just had on my show the other day. We had an entire publisher. We won't name names on this show because I don't want to do that to the IFLC guys. But we had a publisher on there that literally isn't even paying people anything, and they're getting volunteers to run their business. People are hungry. They want to work in comics. They just want to say they work at them. There's people willing to do it for free. So, you get the big names leave.
I mean, Matt and I are currently doing it for free. So, yeah.
Right. So, I ultimately, I don't think it changes very much. I really don't.
Yeah.
Nah,
So, official word from Matt and Pete, direct to Marvel. We're available. If times get hard, pick us up.
I'm here. I'm here.
I wouldn't say I'll do
here
it
and
for
I'm
free,
versatile.
but
Not free. Of course not.
I think this is a good time to mention that Judah, Robo, and Ree are not public domain. We are properties of IFLC. So you're gonna have to talk to our agent.
And limited.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So FaZe Clan. I didn't know what FaZe Clan was until today. Oh wait, this is my chant. I was today years old when I found out about FaZe Clan.
Wow.
But anyway, it's apparently a thing.
You're good.
It's like a bunch of video game nerds, and I guess FaZe Clan and DC have unveiled a Batman comic book collaboration. This book will feature a number of FaZe Clan members, which I guess are people who play video. They're like competitive e-gamers, e-whatevers. Yeah, I guess that's like a thing. So FaZe Clan unveiled on Wednesday a collaboration with DC for a limited edition comic book in celebration of Batman Month. Happy Batman Month, everybody. But anyway, the book is written by Josh Trujillo and illustrated by Scott Eaton, with a main cover art by Tyler Kirkham and Arif Prianto. A number of FaZe Clan members are featured in superhero form, including Brian Awadis, Richard Bankston, Alexander Prinkowitz, Yusuf Abel Fattah, Thomas Oliveira, Norden Schatt, and Lucas Mosing. So,
oh my god, it's Prinkowitz. For fuck's sake.
Prinkowitz.
No, I'm joking.
I have no idea who any of those people fucking are.
Prinkowitz, as in, is that like two words? Is that or is that?
I think it's in the Sinkowitz family of names, but are the So check it out. The through line here, like the lead, is that a bunch of people who got famous playing video games competitively are about to become Batman canon, which means that you've made it.
What do you call them? Sorry, e-gamers.
E-gamer or e-sport gamers.
So real quick, just so we can just put this in the context, all these dudes are all millionaire e-game like sponsored. FaZe
I've just never heard them referred to as e-gamers before. It's always e-sport gamers. So hearing Judah,
some people say there's an whole argument like athletes and whatever. I don't know.
Athletes. No.
Yeah.
They are athletes.
Oh shit! Let's debate.
I don't really get into that debate, but what I do know is that there's a certain level of skill to get to their height. I definitely have a level of respect for people who can play video games at this level. These are, when we talk about, hey, I know how to play basketball, but then there's like Michael Jordan. These are those kind of video gamers. Like there are people who have really good KDs, can play video. These are like unreal. Like, wow, how the fuck do you do that? And then but Judah said it. What's crazy is if this were the fucking whatever, the New York Giants on the thing. We've seen that a million times. The Lakers. How many specials have they done where they're in Marvel or DC Comics? Yeah. This is a sign of the times. This is the like these guys are fucking DC canon. Like that's
Miracle.
You can retire after that.
Miracle Man used to do esports before he started doing Not Near Mint.
Where he got an injury? He got his injury.
Yeah, before he got his RSI.
You're a former E-Fleet?
I damaged the car. I have carpal tunnel in both thumbs.
Yeah,
that's just so bad.
It's tragic, man. That's tragic.
You had a full ride, like scouts looking for you.
Right.
E-Fleeticism will chew you up and spit you out.
E-Fleeticism is rough. You know, Matt, I tend to agree with you, Matt, on that chuckle you had about these being athletes, and then I thought to myself, they consider bowlers athletes.
Yeah, they're definitely athletes.
And golfers too. I mean,
And golfers. That's not an athlete. I will fight somebody who says that.
like
I will
calling it
gladly
drummer.
fight someone.
Sorry, Muggsy. A top athlete is just as much of an athlete as Michael Jordan. I said it. There it is.
Oh
Wow.
shit! Hot
Boy.
take.
Hey,
Hot
I like
take.
that comment.
for our third debate, our third IFLC nerd debate.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I really believe that, but I wanted to take the most absurd position in this conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
You did it.
So we got some Marvel. We got some big Marvel news. This is big news. So 7 new Marvel comic series featuring X-Men, Captain America, and more are coming as digital exclusives. It's the I think Infinity's line or whatever, but Marvel's launching a line of digitally exclusive comics. We got X-Men Unlimited by Jonathan Hickman, which will be an anthology series. The first issue being Wolverine versus AIM, drawn by Declan Shelby. Hey, once and future guy. We got It's Jeff by Kelly Thompson, who just won an Eisner Award. Illustrated by Guri Hiru. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
What's she
Then we
won
have
Eisner for? She's
Black
the
Widow.
Captain Marvel writer, right?
So she wrote Captain Marvel, but she won the Eisner for her Black Widow run, which really
Sick.
is that good.
Nice.
And you should have seen like the competition that she beat out to win that. Like, holy shit. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nice.
It's Jeff, which I guess is a Marvel character that I just don't know of. So we'll see. We got Giant Size Little Marvels, which is Scotty Young basically doing his chibi style like Marvel stuff, but this time it's the whole book. So my least favorite variant covers a whole book of that. So sweet. But a lot of people love Scotty Young, so maybe I'm the one who doesn't have any taste. I don't know. So Shang-Chi by Alyssa Wong, who I think is still writing Dr. Aphra. Captain America by Jay Eden and Nico Leone. Black Widow, Mark Russell, with art by Annie Molina and colorist Irma Navilla. And then the Amazing Fantasy Prelude. And then, Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane. This is going to be by Sean McKeever. The Waiting Place.
Nice.
A couple other things. He's done a lot of stuff. These are all pretty much coming out at once. So I think we can all be kind of excited for some new digital Marvel content. Has anyone here heard of those things? Or heard about this?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I meant to say when you mentioned it, and I know this is totally unrelated, but how fucking good is Dr. Aphra?
So good. Dr. Aphra's the shit.
It's
Who
so
should
good.
play Dr. Aphra in it?
Okay, I've thought about this a long time. I think it needs to be that Ana de Armas chick in that latest Edgar Wright. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it needs to be her. It needs to be someone that's like perky and smart and sassy and like, I don't know,
little
that kind
wily
of energy. Yeah. That kind of vibe. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I love that. I love Dr. Aphra.
Yeah.
So some drama. Marvel is breaking ties, rightfully so.
Oh. I was like multitasking. Did you want to watch that Xfinity Unlimited trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tell me if you guys can hear it. I don't know if I did it right. This time it's personal. Can you guys hear it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The butthole of X expands.
I was about to start pulling a Jeffrey Tubin, and then I saw that I was still on the screen.
No tubing on the street.
No Tubin. It's not you Tubin. You know what I mean?
That was the worst dad joke I've heard all day.
Yeah.
I've heard a bunch of them today. That was the
That's
worst.
a real Judah coming out. I deal with that all the time.
This looks very cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. Wolverine takes cocks. Marvel
What?
What?
He does what too?
Gonna have like animated frames, or is it just comic books?
Hey, bub, I'm gonna give you the most painful hand job of your life.
That's terrible.
That's
So
awful.
they have like animated panels.
Free circumcision.
Yeah, it's animated panels. Yeah,
No
this
more-
is like
No more.
this is somewhere somewhere between a cartoon and a comic book.
That's fucking dope.
They're
Motion
called
comic.
motion comics.
Yeah, they had
Those
him
are
all the way
words.
back in the Watchmen movie. I don't know if you're familiar with the Watchmen movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But we could discuss it later if you'd like.
So you guys remember that Joe Bennett shit from last week? Well, he's done. Marvel has broken ties with Joe Bennett. Just to catch our audience up if you missed it. He hates the Jews, I guess, is like what I got out of that. He made like some thing in the Immortal Hulk where he like wrote Jewery instead of jewelry, and I guess the editorial didn't catch it and it got released and then recalled, and yeah, just crazy. And then a 2017 illustration of his surfaced where it's like he's like praising Bolsonaro, the Brazilian like autocrat, and it shows Bolsonaro like killing a bunch of like very offensive Jewish caricatures. So yeah, I guess that was enough to get him fired from Marvel event. They did it, so that's good.
And we was with last week, right? And we were like, yeah, we'll see if Marvel does anything within the week.
But Robo, you want to give the funny part?
Yeah. All right, so yeah, it was down here somewhere. In Timeless, he will be replaced by Greg Land.
Womp womp.
Like the thing is, like that's
him.
Yeah, the work's already done. Like Greg Land drew these comics like 20 years ago, so they're all the art is already ready.
Yeah.
That didn't land as much this time, but
we did that whole thing offline, and we were dying laughing. I almost peed myself. Like, do it again. And
this time I was like, fuck.
Comics, and he has his work. You know what?
Yeah.
Next one.
Whatever.
You're really retracing this joke, guys.
Whoa!
Zing! Saved it.
Wow, that was good. That was
well done, Reed.
Well
done.
That was very good, Reed. I appreciate that. We needed that. So anyway, yeah, he's gone. Replaced by Greg Land, and yeah, all is right with the world. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of like a nice conclusion to the saga of Joe Bennett.
What have we learned, kids? Don't be anti-Semitic. Rule
Don't.
10.
That's rule 10. 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, we got to number 10 before we were like, don't hate people.
I'm just
For the
happy
way
we
they
hit
were
the top
born.
10.
I mean, what number is murder on the 10 Commandments? You know what I mean? So it's,
yeah,
that's pretty important.
This should have been like the first one, right? Like, don't kill other people. Number 1.
There's
I think
no.
so.
How is slavery not on either the 10 Commandments
a lot
or
of
the?
And why are 3 of them just about loving God?
Yeah. Okay. We're veering off.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going into a very controversial direction. But so anyway, why The Last Man?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. You tell me.
Why not? Why not?
Why not The Last Man? Am I right? Yeah.
The future is male. No, just kidding.
It's actually very much not. So this
right.
series, this is Brian
Opposite
K.
of
Vaughan. And by the way, as an IFLC rule, every time Brian K. Vaughan's name comes up, we have to lament the fact that we still haven't gotten any new Saga issues.
Where the fuck is Saga?
Where the fuck is Zana? Zana. What did I just say?
Zana is my favorite.
I want to see Saga next.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Fuck Saga.
Anyway,
So
yeah.
speaking of
So he wrote Why the Last Man, and it's an exceptional comic series. I recommend it to anyone. But anyway,
Yes, but I've reread it. I think I've said this to you a few times, and there is definitely some language that would not. It's the same as if you've read Ex Machina from him. It is a product of its time. Like there are things that you read, like the protagonist uses retard, offhandedly, faggot. Like these things are just said, and as you're reading it today, you're like, oh,
oof, yeah.
Ooh.
So Eliza Clark, the executive producer and writer for the Hulu series, actually addressed that recently, and she said that. So she loves the Why the Last Man story and she wants to adapt it, but she's definitely like committed to sort of updating the attitudes and some of the issues, the things within it that didn't quite age very well. So it's I'm interested to see what she does with it.
Stuff in particular, yeah, I'm very interested to see, because obviously the entire premise is that based on chromosomal alignment, this one dude is the only one left on the planet, and the rest are chromosomally women. See the language I'm using?
So there will be men. There will be men in Y: The Last Man besides our main character. And
But
she made it pretty
trans
clear.
women, yeah, what commentary are they going to have around that? It'll be very interesting to see, because you have to sort of draw a line in the sand with a story like this around how you feel about it.
The conversation is significantly changed, so it has to adapt.
I mean,
I'm excited to see it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our last piece of news, Robo, we might come in at 11:30. By the way, our last piece of news is so the Marvels is coming out. It's the sequel to Captain Marvel. Oh yes, look at him! Isn't he gorgeous? Isn't that the best looking superhero?
He does have an arrow pointing at
The
him.
arrow pointing. Yeah, that's horrible.
The Marvels.
Wow. That's
the worst.
literally the best character
Judah,
design of all
if you
time.
don't wear this on our Halloween episode, I'm going to be very disappointed in you.
Look at those fucking boots. Tell me that those boots don't pop.
Dude,
They're
there's
rad.
an arrow pointing to his dick.
Look at the arrow.
The arrow is just like, fuck yeah.
Listen. Look at this picture and be fucking honest. Tell me you don't know exactly where his dick is. There's an arrow.
How is that not in? What's his name? Star Fox. How's that not in his costume design?
Yeah.
Like that character should have had an arrow to his dick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So funny story about this character.
He got an arrow.
This character, especially in like Ron Mars Silver Surfer, this character just keeps popping up as like this cosmic character, and then he's unceremoniously executed by the Scarlet Witch when she goes crazy in Avengers Disassembled, and he never was referred to again, never came back again. Like they just got rid of him, and we'll never see him in a comic book again.
Yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't lose hope.
And I will boycott. I will burn Marvel down. I don't even know if he's from Marvel. We'll just say he's from Marvel. If there's not a dick arrow. You know what I'm
If they bring him back and they update his costume, I will be very angry.
Yeah.
At their cowardice.
Yeah. Is that an arrow or a house? Either way, it's like this is where love lives, baby.
Yeah.
My dick house.
In my dick house.
I hate to be contrarian here. Contrarian?
Your next sentence is a negative thing about Jack of Hearts, then
It's not. It's not. I love him.
Okay.
I love him.
Okay.
He was brought back in Marvel Zombies Supreme in 2012. He was killed. He was killed in 2006. He was brought back in 2012. Not sure if it was really him or if it was a clone.
Did he have
very-
the same costume?
He did. Go ahead, Judah. Go ahead and make fun of me. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you're coming across very gatekeepery.
You know what's funny though, and so we didn't get to see this because he is the embodiment of a stack of comics, right?
True.
But I promise, if he had a face, he heard you say we haven't seen him since whatever, and he spent the last minute and 47 seconds through our jokes being like,
Ooh.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I don't mean to be that guy.
Hey, Miracle! I take back every mean thing I've ever said to you, and I'm really excited for us to team up on our Halloween trivia.
Oh
my god!
So in that, when he came back, was there a dick house?
There was not.
Wait, they got rid of the arrow?
The arrow is not there.
I don't even want to see it.
Stop!
I
It's
don't
not
want to
there.
see it.
I'm gonna dig them out and show them to you after the
Oh
show.
my
I'm
God.
gonna go grab them, and we're gonna look at them right here on the back. Backstage.
So I'm gonna spend 20 seconds covering the next news item, and while I'm doing that, find the picture real quick, please, if you could. And I just want to see this zombie.
I'll puke. I'll
Jack of
puke.
Hearts.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, nauseating the idea of him without a dick arrow.
Yeah. I'm sold on Dick House, by the way, because I think there is a door at the
Dick
bottom.
House. I do like Dick
He's
House.
a dick house.
House.
Ow. The mighty.
Letting it all hang out.
Oh my god!
All right.
Can we buy the rights to? We should see if we could pool our money and buy the rights to Jack of Hearts and make him the show's mascot. That'd be really cool.
What if we just put his lower half on a shirt? You think we can get sued for that? I'm like,
Nah.
nah.
So the Marvels.
For the court case. Nah.
Compose yourself. Get it.
That's good.
So, God, I don't even know where I am anymore. Okay, so The Marvels is coming out, and that's like the sequel to Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel's going to be in it. But not only is Miss Marvel going to be in it, her entire family is confirmed for the Captain Marvel sequel. So,
Wow.
anyone who read Miss Marvel and is looking forward to seeing her brother and her parents, you'll see them. And hopefully they don't discriminate against Lockjaw the way that they did in the comics.
Yup.
Hey, that was controversial. I don't know how I feel about it still because that was a Muslim thing.
Right. No, but he's also
Right.
So.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just towing the line. I'm just like saying it's a little bit like.
And is he? I don't know any dogs with like with antennas, and I can't. All right. So
I mean, I get it. I'd be like, just let the dog in the house if I was there. But
if I'm Lockjaw, I'm like, who are you calling a dog? What? And I go,
Yeah,
whoa, and I would teleport you somewhere. I'm like, I'm a dog still, and I teleport you back.
Right.
That's some G Money news right there. I know G Money is a big
G Money loves Miss Marvel, so yay.
it's a good time. Yeah, I would recommend all of those. That's basically all the Marvel shit I've read is like, yeah, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, like all the Thor shit with Jane.
Right. But regarding the movie, one thing that I was kind of like I kept reading news article after news after news article, and I was like, yeah, but are the parents going to be in it? And so when they dropped it, I was like,
It's I didn't think we were gonna get to it. That's why it was the last item.
No, I was like, parents.
Do we have this? Is this Jack of Hearts available to see?
Yeah. But I don't want to. Here we go. Let me.
I was actually wrong. He does have the dick arrow.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
Thank fucking God.
But he's not a zombie.
Hang out.
He's actually the hero of this story.
Do you have doubles of that issue?
I do not, but I can keep my eye open for you if you'd like.
Yeah, I want that issue. I want to get that issue graded.
See, that one's nice. This one's not as good. I think that first one's better.
Cool.
But that's him. And he's only in I think the last 2 issues, if I remember. He might be in the last 3. But the Squadron Supreme are the zombies in this one. Here's the first issue. Look at that. Isn't that dope ass cover, right?
As soon as I finish collecting volume 3 of Silver Surfer, I'm going to collect every single appearance every single appearance of Jack of Hearts. That's my next comic.
I'm doing Squadron Supreme, so I understand your drive.
Okay. Oh shit, we lost. There he is. Oh, whoops.
I feel like
I crashed.
what I thought you were doing was like, you know how like when it's time to get out of a place, people turn the lights on and off. Matt's like, look, maybe if I sign out and come back in, like, let's go, let's get the fuck out of here now.
Hey, before Robo wraps us up, let's talk more about Bard's the Bardic verses. So, yeah. So chat
3,500 of 5,000. 30 days to go. 84 back.
Damn.
So,
Oh, that's great.
Easy.
We're getting
Hop in
there.
and
Easy
put some money
dollars.
to it. Yeah.
matter of fact, let's play this. That boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Stupid bitch. Calvin House.
I really hope that dialogue is in there right now. I really hope.
Ooh, that looks awesome. Valley of plenty.
I just want to say, good job on having a video. I never watch them. Like, literally, will never watch. I have done like 100 Kickstarters in the last 2 years. I have never watched the video, not one time. But other people tell me seeing a video on there tells me that these people are invested. They really want to make this project, and that's great.
I want you to
So-
know what you did,
So,
all this work.
let me-
I will never ever let
Let me
I think it's safe to say that having a video is the dick house of Kickstarter.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Let me tell you something. We didn't talk about having a video. Pete just made one, and I was like, "Cool, we'll put this on the thing." Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think we were gonna have one, so
Yeah.
it was just kind of a thing that happened.
Honestly, I was procrastinating. Like I was working on a page, and I was just kind of over it that afternoon. So I was like, I'm gonna throw together a little video, and yeah.
People, I'll tell you, people love them. Like I said, I will literally never watch it. You could make the greatest video ever. Robo, Reed,
Dude, I don't watch
Judith,
them
be like,
either,
Dude,
so-
you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this video, and I'll be like, yeah, that's cool, and I will never follow the link they send me.
It's
It'll
actually
never
every time Miracle Man comes on our show, he tells us something similar. He's like, I literally never watch your show, but like I'll be on it. I'll be on it. Every time he says that, it's strange. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Steve, dick house for everybody.
Sorry.
Hashtag dick houses.
Well, now that I was called out for being a dick, why don't we wrap the show up?
Yeah. Well,
And on a high note,
before I let you all go, we have a hard schedule, so to speak, of the Valiant Club Valiant, where we are reading through every Valiant issue chronologically. Judah, the Valiant Master, is walking us through and letting us know how to read it. We do those on Sundays, and then not on the same weekend, but what we do is we do Valiant Club on Sundays, and the Saturday of that same week, you'll find most of the people on here plus Q Money in our Sandman, and we're reading through all of Sandman too. And the way we've timed it out is that by the time Sandman releases on Netflix, we'll be done. And if you follow along or read the old ones or watch the old videos, you'll be caught up and know the entire Sandman as well. So it's really cool. We get into the subtext and we try to pretend we're like way smarter than we are, and we have a good time doing it. And so it's
it's like a big circle jerk of Sandman. It's really fun.
It's like,
Huge, yeah.
Wow, that's horrible.
Would they call that Handman?
Hey!
Yes. So real quick, just to piggyback on that. So this is the next this Sunday we're talking about Archer and Armstrong Volume 1. It's fucking great. Yeah. Oh, hey, join us, Matt.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So that, and then the following episode will be Eternal Warrior Volume 1. And then after that, we're returning to Archer and Armstrong with Archer and Armstrong Volume 2. So join us on Sunday. And then the following Saturday of next week, Fables and Reflections.
So
I haven't read it yet.
We'll have weeks like that every other week. So also, I'm just going to go ahead and plug myself. Well, before I do that, Pride or Die.
Can you not plug yourself on camera?
I've been plugged this whole time, so like I have to like unplug and replug. So
That was an innuendo.
on Respawn, just look up Respawn Pride or Die in the YouTube. Click it, follow, then go sub. And on Fridays, they do describe it. What is Pride or Die?
It's a bunch of gay bees talking about gay shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well,
When I wanted to say that,
very specific.
but it'd be weird, and everything would get really quiet, and we'd get canceled. The_Robo_Strange. Go look that up on Twitch and follow me because I play video games, and that's why.
Make sure you follow him at a moment where it would be most scary for him to have that sound in his ears, because the reaction is great.
Yeah, because I forget it's there. Yeah, that's why I was so defensive earlier. I'm like, yeah, well, the business model does work. So yeah, please go stop and give me money. Ladies and gentlemen and MBs, that's the end of our show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Pete. I dropped the links to the Kickstarter in there.
Wait. Miracle Man, do you have anything to promote before we go?
Oh,
I am so sorry. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm a dick house.
No, I mean, yeah, but in a good way. You're like the good dick house.
All dick houses are good. Most
talk
dick
about
houses are
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about some dick houses that aren't good. We'll do that off camera. Yes, come see me over every Wednesday night, 10 o'clock on New Comic Book Day. We're doing the Not Near Mint show. Me, Rob Worst, Ace, Lady Fantastic when she gets done with her sabbatical, and Comics on the Mind, and occasionally our good friend Whack from Whack Comics. We'll do our show. We'll show off some books. We'll talk to some creators. We might make fun of some chuds. All the good things that you can do on the internet. And then every other Thursday, we also have a Sandman review show on Brags and Boards. That's my good friend Ace.
Anyways, so
Anyways.
And take it away, Robo.
ladies and gentlemen, MVs, that's the end of our show. Come and follow us. We hope to see you again. Thank you for everybody in the chat. We love you so much. Go get vaccinated. Keep washing your hands and wear your mask. See ya.
Suck a bunch of... What's up, friendly neighborhood nerds? If you want to hear interviews from industry pros, get first looks, and have access to endless comic content, wake up. Please wake up. You're in a coma. Your mother misses you.